Peace, peace, peace. How's everybody doing? I hope well. I'm doing well. What we doing today? We running it back. You know what I'm saying? Got a few things I want to speak about today. Just to make it known, that the people collectively, who are conscious of certain things are the same way we conscious of a lot of the same things we experiencing a lot of the same things. And at this point in time, we in a turn up spot. We in a spot where it seems like things is turned up. Like the negativity, the energetic projection, like negativity being projected upon you. Stuff like that. You know what I mean? But it's time for us to collectively speak on it. You know what I mean? It's time to this is actually the time for you to fight back. To also inspire others to do the same. You know what I mean? And if you can advise people on how they can fight back and how they can offset some of this negativity, then these are the times for us to get vocal with it. Because I myself, I deal with spiritual battles on the daily. You know what I mean? So much so that I just know how to deal with it, and I just know how to deal with it real good, way more than I could a year, 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And I just try to advise myself and anybody who want to listen. You know what I mean? When you're aware of these time periods where they try to turn it up on you, your opponents, and you have spiritual opponents also, because they use spirituality. They use certain kinds of manipulation, certain kinds of projections. You know what I mean? To slow you down, or to harm you in some form or fashion. Basically, to slow you down, to get you off of get you off the mountaintop. You know what I'm saying? Because it's an energy of pulling, like to pull you back or to pull you down. You know what I'm saying? So this is why you have to remain positive. You have to, even with affirmations, it seems like kind of the cliche stuff that's going on nowadays, but it's real, it's strong. When you saying these positive mantras, and also you're praying and you're meditating and stuff like that, stuff real, that stuff work. It gets you through some tough spots. You know what I mean? And I know that a lot of us is going through it right now as we speak. And certain things don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? Using certain essential oils, eucalyptus, mint, lavender, different eucalyptus oils. It's good to put these oils on your body, because it will repel some negativity, and it'll make you feel better. So it's good to research that and get into that, because that's what I use. I use essential oils. I also use certain stones, to push back negativity, away from me. I burn a lot of incense. I burn sage, Palo Santo, and all that stuff. And it actually works. It actually works, and it works good for me. And yeah, that's basically fiasco. Peace. What you say? Positive visualization and negative periods of life is what helped me to get a remote job, repel negative. For sure, 100. Yep. Positive visualization. Yep. That's something else that you can add to your repertoire. You know what I mean? That's good that he said it in that way. You know what I mean? But if you want, if you ain't that far, hey, look, I call it daydreaming. You know what I mean? I daydream a lot. You know what I mean? Like meaning like, yeah, I really dream a lot when I'm woke. You know, and I imagine myself doing the things that I want to do in the so-called future, which is now. But I'm just saying, I visualize it by daydreaming and just thinking about it. You know what I mean? In the best way, in the hardest way, rather, or whatever. I can't think of the word I need to really use, but really, I really think hard about me doing what I do and doing it well. And yeah, you're right, Fiasco. That's visualization. But you got multiple weapons that you could use, and you know, sometimes it's sad to say that a lot of aspects of our lives is about fighting back and all the different stuff. But when you've been set apart in a lot of different ways, you know what I mean, it just is what it is. You know what I mean? Because a lot of us experience this insane opposition, and we're not truly bad people. I'm not saying that we did no wrong to ourselves or other people in some form or fashion, because we all have done that. But what I'm saying is, you know how you play nice on a job, you know, you play nice, you talk nice, you do everything right because you know you really want to appease people and you want to make people feel good about you and whatever, you know what I'm saying, and all that. And these people still do the same stuff. They still hate you for no reason. They'll hate you for not doing the dumb stuff. They find out that you don't backbite. Or they found out that you ain't no hater. Like, you don't hate. You know what I'm saying? The only thing you do is congratulate. You know what I'm saying? They be like, oh, why you ain't no hater? And then they start hating on you, and all of a sudden it's a problem too. Oh, I can't trust him because he don't be hating. You know what I'm saying? Or they find out that you can't be bought. Or you ain't for sale. You know what I mean? That's just adds to it. But the people know who they are. You know what I mean? And the people that fall under that particular that group of people, they experiencing the same things. You know what I'm saying? Because the Most High Creator is splitting the people in half, splitting the people in two. You know what I mean? It's we're being separated. That's the bottom line. And really, now is the time to not get into any kind of foolishness whilst you're fighting back. If you fight back, you got to fight back with what got you to this place, this point. You know what I mean? If you've been being a positive individual and you've been doing good, then stick to that. You know what I'm saying? If you've been, just being a clean and upright person, a person that's conscious, you know what I mean, of the Most High Creator, Allah, you know what I mean? Whatever your perception of it is, if you've been being that, then just keep being that. Don't go into what they doing in order to fight back. Fight back with the stuff that made them hate you. Don't fight back with their stuff. Their stuff is weak anyway. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I advise myself and anybody, you know what I mean, who want to listen. Because it's a lot of it's funny how they try to flip the script on certain things, especially based on my perception. Because I come from a religious background, and when people find out that that I deal with astrology, astronomy, and things of that nature, they think I'm practicing magic, or I'm into divination and magic or whatever. Divination is a part of our culture, meaning the Aborigines of America, the Aborigines of the earth. Everybody deal with some form of divination. It's a part of natural life. You know what I'm saying? But getting back to what I'm saying, you got people out here, they're using different forms of secret arts, like magic, black magic, dark magic, whatever you want the case may be. All of us got to, let's say, we got real low level understandings of it. I myself, I don't practice magic. I know myself, I know that I'm a magical individual. I don't have to sit there and I don't got to burn a candle. I don't have to, I don't got to, chant. I ain't got to do all that. Like, you know what I'm saying? The only thing I just think, but see, okay, like I said, magic and science at one time was go together. Okay, I say, yeah, only thing I got to do is think about what I want or what I want to do. And guess what? It manifests. But then you got people over here doing talking about, they coaching people about manifestation and all that, and the laws of attraction and all that stuff. And people like, hey, yeah, they all happy and hype, and they all with it, and they ain't even knowing that that's the same thing as the other stuff. That's how you know that it's related. It's the same. It's just called something different. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, but the same way you got the yin and yang thing. Okay, boom. Anywhere, anything, myself included, it has a light and a dark. It's just what it is. Because we all made up of two sides. You know what I'm saying? Now, whatever the Most High Creator will for you to be, to manifest as now, and whatever in your body, your personality, your character, whatever is gonna make you go in the direction that's most really what you are right now. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of people, they go into the evil. They become haters. They become out not just fools with all of that. And this is why it's a lot of chaos going on now. It been the same. This chaos been around. It's just that when your consciousness, when you raise your consciousness up, you just aware of it. It ain't nothing changed from 1995 or the year 2000. It's the same. It's just that more people was conscious of certain things, of very, very basic things. You know what I mean? Because you got people that's not even on a high conscious level with just non-mainstream information, I'm gonna call it, and even they know. Even they know. They know what's going on. They know. You know what I'm saying? They know. They know the harms and the dangers of certain things. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, the title of my thing, round 2, run it back. Yeah, fight back. Don't hey, just don't think because you're getting through a couple days and things may be cool, because it's a fight. So guess what? If sometime they might leave you alone to trick you into rocking you to sleep. Don't get rocked to sleep. Don't get lackadaisical. Don't let your mind wander too much to the left. Get your desires under control. These are just some basic things that you can do to offset your opponent, to keep your opponent on their heels, and for you to remain undefeated. Because if you made it up to this point, to even listening to what I'm talking about right now, you are undefeated. Because you ain't quit, because you still open enough to listen, even to hear some. I might be saying some things that you already know, but guess what? That don't mean that it ain't good for you to listen to me, just to be like, yeah. Because that's what it is with me on a daily basis. A lot of times I listen to a lot of different people, and I already be knowing what they talking about. But it's good to have that stuff just in my ears and around me, so that I can remain focused, on what I know is right and what I know is good. You know what I'm saying? So, it's a day-to-day thing. You know what I mean? And, I'm freestyling, so this ain't like I really got some subject matter. All my lives really be like that. You know what I'm saying? I really jump up and do a live when I feel like it, or when I get just moved, like, yo, talk about something, you know what I mean? But I know that we feeling it right now as a collective group. You know what I'm saying? And the evil ones, or the ones that's doing evil right now, they trying to turn they turning it up. They turning it up. Do not let that get to you. It's all part of the, the process. You know what I mean? The process of separation. You know what I mean? Do not go to the evil. Control your emotions. Use whatever you know. If you know something from religion, like I do. I have a lot of aspects of I'm gonna call it the old time religion that kept me good. And it still to this day keep me good. So I remain steadfast, on those things. And that's why I'm undefeated. That's why I ain't never gonna get beat. You know what I mean? Because I've reconciled the fact that I'm here for a purpose, for a particular purpose. You know, whereas though, like, my purpose is to learn from others, but also to teach them. You know what I mean? Once you get that in your mind, like, especially if you're one of the ones that you be doing good and people still go against you in every form of fashion, even your family members and your faith behind friends, you know what you start realizing? You start realizing that all that God stuff, that's if you really understanding it, you really getting into the true meaning of that stuff, it's real. Because a lot of the worldly stuff, it's for you. But what I'm just saying is, you're going to have to get through a lot of static before you get to that point. But at the same time, what we have is more valuable than the money. But we get money, and we always gonna have money, and we always gonna be provided for. We always gonna, even if we only win by a point, we gonna win. You know what I'm saying? But it's the thing. This is the reason why you're being hated on so much, because you have something that money can't buy. You get it? You got love and you got respect. When people in their right state of mind, they love you and they respect you. When people in their right state of mind, you the ones that you the one that you know what I mean, they're gonna trust for you to be in the presence of their family, their children. I'm a boxing coach, so people bring their kids to me for me to, you know what I mean, to coach their kids in boxing. You know what I'm saying? So I just know that I know the people trust me. They may not give me $1 million to do it. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm just saying is, what you have is something that cannot be purchased with money. You know what I mean? What you have is being purchased with over your righteous deeds, your righteous, you know, your righteous actions over a period of time. You know what I'm saying? And this can't be purchased. It can't be purchased, and it can't be obtained, you know, or accomplished in 1 or 2 days. You know, maybe you is doing, you know, you got some people, you know, they do some things. They do some things that could be considered a good thing, and they think, and okay, but they want to be like this person over here who's been doing it for a long period of time. Okay, you're being tested. You did some good stuff for somebody, and what, you feel like you unappreciated. And then when you get if you feel unappreciated, and then you get bent out of shape, and then you turn into a hater because you start hating on the one that's getting something that you want, then guess what? You're not like them. You see what I'm saying? You see how all the actions and the deeds and the mindset, it separates. It's constantly separating. You're constantly, you know, everybody is constantly being tested. Everybody's constantly, you know, under the gun to have to do the right things. See what I'm saying? That's how it works. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I'm like everybody else. It'd be like days I'd be like, man, I just need a vacation. You know what I mean? I need a vacation. You know, I need some time off or whatever. But is that even real? Is that even real? If I went some whatever in my mind, what I think of is a vacation spot in my mind where I want to go. It's a lot of them too. When I get there, I'm gonna have to stay sharp. You know what I'm saying? When I get there, I'm gonna have to stay sharp. But you don't get time off, because the Most High Creator, the energy, whatever you want to call it, when you get there, you're gonna be testing you. Or she gonna be, you know what I mean? Gonna be testing you with certain things to see if you're gonna go too far. Or you're gonna go too far, or you're gonna do something, to take you out of the state that you in, especially if you're in a good state. So, you know, that's why I'm glad that my life didn't win a certain way. You know what I mean? That, you know, even with my profession, being a boxing coach, it really like puts life in a real good, boxing put life in a good perspective for me. Meaning it being a conflict, a fight, something that I have to consistently and constantly on a daily basis. I have to remain Discipline. I have to remain, all the aspects of my personality. Well, the good high aspects have to be used and utilized on a daily basis. You know what I mean? My strength, my determination, my will, my knowledge. The base of my knowledge, like what I know, I have to utilize these things on a daily basis. And that's the same way in the boxing ring. You know what I mean? Some guys think, oh, I'm fast. Oh, I'm strong. Okay. You're going to need more than that to win a fight against somebody equal to you. You're going to need to be more than strong. Might need to be smart. You might need to be a little quick. And you might need to know something. And then you're going to have to bring it all together to get the win. So you can't just be one thing. That's another reason why I tell people, don't be just being stuck on one way of thinking. You can learn a lot from all these different religions. You can learn a lot from a lot of these different they religions too, but I'm just all these other philosophies and disciplines and stuff like that. You can learn a lot. You can take aspects from all of them, because it's all about you anyway. You know what I mean? Because once you step out the box and you ain't trying to conform to a certain way of thinking. You know that it's all about you, and what you develop in your mind is not necessarily going to be what I have developed in my mind for me. You know what I'm saying? I was talking to somebody today. Somebody older too, and every time I said something about another, not saying my belief system or whatever, I was just talking about in general, like different forms, different belief systems and stuff like that. And the only thing that he could say, this is an individual that's in their 70s. This is an individual who's like, I don't mess with that, and I don't do that, and just all this different stuff. And I'm thinking on my mind, right? You don't believe in that, but what about the person over here? You know what I mean? He don't believe what you say. But that don't mean that he don't got nothing good to say. That don't mean that you don't have nothing to say, good to say, or nothing to offer. So why just because you don't, you know what I mean? We got to get past just because, I don't do that. Or that's not my religion. Or we don't do that down here or whatever. All right. Y'all don't do that. What that mean? That don't invalidate something beneficial that somebody doing. You know what I mean? That's kind of small. That's like at the beginning stage, like respecting knowledge, all forms. You know what I mean? A lot of people can't even dodge negativity because they don't even know nothing about it. But some of us, we know about negativity, so we know how to sidestep it. We know how to get out the way of it because of our knowledge of it. And it ain't a good thing or a bad thing. It's actually good if you make it once you get past it. Yeah, it is good to have a knowledge of certain levels of foolishness, and to be past it, because then you ain't gonna fall into it again, right? But all these things you gotta take into consideration. You know what I mean? For your own self, not for no big time thing. Because I used to say to myself, like, I used to talk to myself, I used to be like, yeah, I ain't trying to save the world, I'm just trying to save me. But on the real tip, I do desire to save the world. I don't necessarily got to do it by myself. You know what I'm saying? Like saying like it's all me. But I do desire to save the world. I do desire to make the world a better place for myself and for my children. You know what I mean? And for just the people that I see on a daily basis, because I really got love for a lot of people. I got love for people in general. I don't be, I got love for people. I want people to be able to exist and do what they do without no problems. Especially if they doing good things. You know what I mean? And they just doing natural, everyday things. You know what I mean? I want them to have what they heart's desire. As long as it's something that's good. I don't want you to have your heart's desire if you want something harmful. You know what I mean? But You know, it's not. I don't think it's nothing wrong with that. And I'm talking to myself. You know what I mean? Like, for wanting to save the world. Imagine that. Like, you know, they didn't tricked us into, let's say, not wanting to think like that. You know what I mean? This is another aspect of like getting back into like, you know, the childlike mind when we used to idolize heroic figures in cartoons and comic books and stuff like that. And most people, well, most people, even up to now, you know what I mean. But definitely in my age bracket, people growing up with us, all of us was into comics and cartoons and stuff like that. So, you know, and we wanted to be, you know, like these individuals, you know, and they were heroic. They were truly heroic because back then you ain't had no dumb stuff in the 70s and the 80s on those cartoons, man. You might have a little race stuff, a little teeny little bit, but no, everybody was on good stuff. The heroes was doing good, saving people from harm and all this kind of stuff. So what's wrong with that? What's wrong with desiring to save everybody or to assist everybody in just having a good life and being safe and content? What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? And it's actually a praiseworthy mindset. You know what I mean? They didn't got us out of our true self. You know what I mean? Or got us away from our best self. You probably was at your best when you was a little child. You know what I mean? And you was having heroic thoughts and things of that nature. You know, so yeah, it's just a better mind. It's just a better mind state to be in. Even the people from the past who we probably think we better than. You know, I always think about my grandfather. My grandfather is a World War II veteran, and but a lot of my people back then, you know, my uncles and whatever, and even my great grandparents and grand uncles and stuff like that. Stuff like, okay, when like wars and stuff like that, whether they was, you know, it was a brainwashing going on back then the same way it is now. But what I'm saying is, when the people was called to something, they answered the call because they had a heroic mindset. They had an obligation. Well, they understood their obligations and their duties to society. So, okay, now we coming into that now. Like I said, people who got a certain mindset and they're aware of certain things. It's on you to like really to try to do your best on social media, to try to do your best in real life. Well, this is real life. It's just another reality. But do your best in real life to just to assist people. You know what I mean? To do their best. You know what I mean? Do your best. Cause now we in a time when you gotta do your best. If you ain't doing your best, you gonna end up you gonna lose. That's the bottom line. If you don't do your best. If you don't do your best, you might not even survive. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people getting clicked off upstairs. It's like a light switch. Clicked off. And they just walking around just doing as they told. You know what I mean? And life that's not life. Life ain't meant to be like that. You know what I'm saying? But and guess what? I can remember this. Listen. Now, this is what, brand new me. I was a teenager. Yeah, when this was out, I was about 18, right? And I was about 17, 18, something like that, right? But this is around time when I first entered into mainstream Islam. But to make a long story short, this is a period that I clearly remember that. I remember when it wasn't rap, when hip hop music was, you had a lot of positivity in it. I remember all that. So this stuff that they making documentaries and all this stuff, I lived it. I remember it clear as day, right? But the point I'm trying to make is the people at that time who was like coming along and you know what I'm saying, guess what? Got tricked into other bags that took them away from being conscious. Bottom line, whether it be fake religion, chasing money, you name it. It's just a lot of different bags that people got into. And we listen, right here, we back. We, so to speak, even though time is not what you think it is. Okay, but we back. Just to say it like that, we back here now. You gotta maintain your focus. Don't get lost in the sauce. Don't get too emotional. It's all part of it. If you're freeing yourself up mentally, of course, mentally and spiritually first, stay on that. Don't get wore out. You ain't gonna get wore out. Maintain yourself. Make it through each day, one day at a time, and use what you got. You know what I mean, to get past, to get through it. And that's all I got to really say. Anybody who's listening, I appreciate it. And hopefully y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. And I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.